Imagine roaring across the Atlantic in just over 3 hours, sipping champagne at twice the speed of sound. For nearly 30 years, the Concorde wasn't just a plane, it was a dream come true. But what really happened to this technological marvel, and could it ever return to the skies? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the Concorde, how it shattered the limits of aviation, why it captured the world's imagination, and the tragic events that led to its downfall. But there's more to the Concorde story than you might think, including secrets that could hold the key to the future of supersonic travel. Welcome back to the skies. The Concorde story began during the height of the Cold War, a time when speed symbolized progress, power, and prestige. In the 1960s, Britain and France set out to create a commercial aircraft that could break the sound barrier. It was an ambitious idea that combined cutting-edge technology with a hefty dose of national pride. But did you know it almost didn't happen? Negotiations between the two countries were fraught with tension, and funding was always on shaky ground. What kept the Concorde alive wasn't just engineering, it was politics and determination. The name Concorde was chosen to symbolise the harmony between Britain and France, despite the numerous challenges in their partnership. And here's a wild fact: Concorde wasn't the only supersonic plane in development. The US attempted its own version, the Boeing 2707, but the project was cancelled in 1971 due to costs and environmental concerns. If they had succeeded, the Concorde's legacy could have been very different. Only 20 Concorde planes were ever built, including 6 prototypes. The rarity of this aircraft makes it one of the most exclusive in aviation history. Building the Concorde was nothing short of a miracle. Its delta wing design allowed it to cruise at Mach 2, while its Rolls-Royce Snecma engines pushed it beyond the limits of commercial aviation. But with innovation came challenges. Sonic booms, rising fuel costs, and environmental concerns were just the beginning. And a fun fact: during testing, Concorde engineers discovered the plane's nose would heat up so much at supersonic speeds that it stretched by nearly 10 inches in flight. Talk about high pressure innovation. It wasn't just fast, it was also a technological pioneer. The Concorde was one of the first aircraft to feature fully fly-by-wire control system, a groundbreaking technology still used in modern aviation. And then there was fuel consumption. This speed beast burned a staggering 5,638 gallons of fuel per hour, making it one of the most fuel-intensive aircraft ever. Imagine the engineering challenges of balancing that speed with safety and efficiency. Despite the challenges, the Concorde's debut in 1976 was nothing short of legendary. It quickly became the symbol of luxury and speed, with celebrities, royalty, and world leaders flocking to its flights. At $12,000 for a round trip, it wasn't cheap, but for those who could afford it, it was an experience like no other. One passenger famously described it as flying in a spaceship with champagne and caviar. But what made the Concorde so iconic wasn't just its speed or luxury, it was the sense of possibility it brought to the world. The Concorde wasn't just a status symbol, it was also a record breaker. On February the 7th, 1996, it set a transatlantic speed record, flying from New York to London in just 2 hours, 52 minutes, 59 seconds. A record that still stands. At 60,000 feet, passengers could see the curvature of the Earth and the blackness of space above, making every flight a jaw-dropping experience. For those lucky enough to board, the Concorde wasn't just a flight, it was a privilege. While the Concorde dazzled the world, its flaws slowly began to surface. Noise complaints, environmental criticisms, and the rising cost of fuel made it a target for scrutiny. Then came the tragedy that changed everything. The Air France flight 4590 crashed in July 2000. A burst tyre, a chain reaction, and the resulting fire led to the first and only fatal accident in Concorde's history. This disaster grounded the fleet for over a year and shattered public confidence. Even before the crash, Concorde faced growing challenges. Its operating costs were astronomical, and its niche appeal limited its profitability. On top of that, the plane's sonic boom restricted where it could fly, as countries banned it from travelling overland. The crash was the breaking point, but the Concorde's struggles had been mounting for years. What's often overlooked is that Concorde's safety record was impeccable before 2000, with no fatalities in over 2 decades of operation. The investigation into the crash also revealed a startling detail. The accident was triggered by debris from another aircraft, proving how even the smallest factor can lead to disaster. After the crash, Concorde returned to service, but the world had changed. The 9/11 attacks devastated the aviation industry, and airlines faced mounting financial pressures. In 2003, Concorde flew its final flight, marking the end of supersonic commercial travel. Yet even in retirement, its legacy endured. Aviation enthusiasts continue to marvel at its design, and its influence can still be seen in modern aerospace engineering. Concorde's maintenance costs skyrocketed in its later years, with aging parts becoming harder and harder to replace. Each plane required constant upkeep, and the price tag of keeping them operational became unsustainable. Interestingly, Concorde's final flight wasn't just a somber farewell, it was a global event, with thousands of people gathering to watch its last landing. Its retirement marked the end of an era, but it also sparked renewed interest in the future of supersonic flight. Although the Concorde is gone, its spirit lives on. Companies like Boom Supersonic are working on next generation planes that promise to bring back the dream of faster than sound travel. Using more efficient engines and sustainable fuels, these aircraft aim to succeed where the Concorde failed. But will they capture the magic that made the Concorde unforgettable? Only time will tell. And here's a question to ponder. Will the future of supersonic travel come down to cost? Or will public fascination bring these planes back to the skies? Hi pilots, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you on the next flight.